happily important legal work and had some fantastic results today. So very, very pleased that that's all going forward. The other thing that we have is a very, very good kind of momentum in the business and our fields in so many different markets. So working hard and we have got now active markets all over the place in a way that the company never has had before. We have a real spread of ourselves on capacity. It is very happy to see winning. All report back on the agenda slides. We're going to be talking about the leaders in the UK, which was another very, very joyous experience for the entire company. But I do have some technical challenges today with my internet. The hotel has decided to not have a great internet tonight. But we are also joined on this call by Mihir Magudia, who will be stepping into the breach and picking up when I drop off here. But so we have recognition, and that's kind of the most important part of it. Leo Coin market service and product updates, some new stuff, and product launch incentives, etc. So company at the moment, we all of the teams are working really, really hard to deliver for you a superior platform, a superior product offering, and basically a superior company in every which way that we can. And it's quite nice to see how things are working. Now, we had a couple of markets that had some issues with pins in the heat of sales last week. There were some pins that couldn't be activated, and so it was a couple of places. No one who is trying to take advantage of the platinum incentive will lose out on that, and we've made some special IT interventions to make sure that no one has any milk to be spilt and cried over. So we're very, very sensitive to make sure that no one is hurt by that. So keep yourself up to speed with what's going on in your back office, and speak to your local leadership, and all will be well. But in terms of recognition, we have two very dynamic ladies that we want to celebrate on this call, and one I was just notified about this over the weekend, and I am so happy about this because Isabel Lavry in Guadeloupe is our newest and our latest director. And as you know, she's married to Patrice, and of course, behind every successful, very, very surprised woman, Isabel, who's beautiful, committed, positive, and a very good friend, someone
Okay, I think we may have lost Dan there. I think his internet might have dropped out. Can everybody hear me? I can see your questions pointing out that you can't hear Dan, so hopefully you can hear me. Ah, there we are. Yes, 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 we're all fine. Excellent news. So, what Dan, I think, was saying, he was expressing a lot of joy and love and affection for Isabel and her incredible hard work that she's done to get to this position. Now, I first met Isabel, gosh, was it only last year? It might have only been last year in Kuala Lumpur, perhaps. I think I knew Patrice and Jean-Michel, who are, well, her husband and part of her upline first, but I think I only met Isabel in Kuala Lumpur. And since then, she has been going great guns. She's from one of the most beautiful places in the world, which is Guadeloupe, and I was privileged enough to visit them last September when I was doing a bit of a Caribbean tour, and the people there are magnificent. Isabel's venue there, where she holds her Leo events, is just fantastic. It's such an exciting, energetic market, and the work that Isabel's done to bring that market to the Leo family is, well, it's been absolutely incredible. It's been tricky. There's been challenges. There's been massive opportunities, obviously. But Isabel is one of the most positive people you're likely to meet. Where other people see problems, she sees opportunities. And we're so delighted by the energy that her teams have brought to our business. It really has kicked it up a notch. And those of you who've met our Francophone and Guadeloupean teams will have experienced this joy and this excitement that comes from those people. They're always the last people on the dance floor dancing away at all of our events. They're always cheering, they're always happy, and they're always so passionate about everything they do. And a lot of that is down to the leadership that Isabel has provided. So we are so pleased for her, so happy that she's achieved this rank. And as anyone will tell you, Isabel, the rest are all just easy. So it's straight to vice president from here. So many congratulations again, Isabel, and delighted for you. Now, the next bit of recognition is another incredible rank, another incredible woman, one of our most favorite people in the world to work with. In fact, Rach, are you on the call? I think I saw you there. So Rach David from the Philippines has a tough market to build in. This is a market predominantly of smaller packs. It's a market with lots and lots of crypto things going on there. It's a market that has an sort of unclear approach to regulation. It's a challenging place to build a network, to build a business. But Rach has done it, frankly. She's used Facebook, she's used social media, she's used her charm, her wit, her personality, just to smash down all of those barriers, to overcome all of those obstacles. And she's built a really special business based in the Philippines, but all over the world. And it's constantly inspiring to meet Rach and to talk to her. She's relentlessly positive as well. There's never been a situation that we haven't been able to work out. And what's really telling is with the leadership that, oh, hello, something's happened. With the leadership that Rach has provided, you see it filtering down into her teams. So certainly with the Philippine members of her team that I've met, they've all got that same attitude, that same positivity, that same excitement about Leo. They all are focused on doing the best thing for their members. They're all really excited about their future with this company, and it's always brings a smile to my face when I see Rachel, her husband, her family, her Leo family walk into a room, because I know that there's going to be energy. I know there's going to be excitement. I know there's going to be something great to talk about. Now, obviously, I last saw Rachel last week in the UK. I think she might still be in London. She's got a bit of a European holiday planned, but if I can find her on the call here and she has enough connection, Rach, given that you've just made marketing director, an incredibly powerful rank, and have a massive business that you're sitting on top of that, maybe if I unmute you, you could perhaps say a few words if your internet holds up. Rachel, are you there? I've unmuted you. Oh, you're on your phone or something, aren't you?
Hi.
There we are. Yes, I can hear you perfectly. Why don't you say a little about your achievement?
Yes, I'm actually sitting here still in London. It's really exciting to actually be doing this GAM here in your home country.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So it's like, it's nothing that I can explain. I am really, really excited about what's going on. And what I can really tell, the members and all those other people that is looking into Leo is to keep going, to never stop, because the key with what we are doing in this business is consistency and focus. That's what I've always been telling the people that I come in contact with. To be really successful in this opportunity, you really have to have consistency and focus. So, everyone, let's keep roaring to our success.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Ray. Great insight there into what it takes. So thank you very much for that. Many congratulations, Isabel. Many congratulations, Rach. So happy for both of you. It's a wonderful week and a beautiful world. And onwards, Jeff. I think we've got some Brazil stuff next. Excellent. So Brazil. And Isabel, Patrice, the rest of you guys, is obviously very important for you, as you've already got contacts there. I know you're already building there and already starting. But you all know we're going to Brazil next year. So many of you have qualified. Looking down the names on this list, I can see lots and lots of people here who've qualified. So a few people here with 2 or 3 or even more tickets because of the number of new associates that you've all managed to create. It's been amazing how quickly people have taken advantage of this. Now, this is a bigger event than Mauritius. There are more rooms. There will be more guests. It's a much larger resort. Even despite all of that, despite the bigger size of it, despite the fact that we're almost doubling from where we were in Mauritius in terms of rooms and guests, we are already 2/3 of the way full. 2/3 of the way full already. So if this was Mauritius, we'd have sold out, I think, in mid-August. That's how quickly people are building. That's how quickly people are qualifying for this event. And so if you've already qualified, if you're already planning on being there, congratulations. It's going to be incredible. I'm so happy for you. It's another one of our amazing Leo events, another country to tick off on Rach's global list, another place to experience Leo lifestyle, Leo training, Leo events. It's going to be an event like no other. And if you haven't qualified yet, I can't possibly imagine what you're waiting for. The incentives that are currently running, some of the stuff that I'm going to talk about in a minute today, in just a moment, is very powerful stuff. It's a very strong set of products for you to sell. Qualification should be a breeze. And I think for so many of you, it may well be, which means that even though the incentive is only due to run until the end of October, I would not be surprised if it stopped before then. We're already 2/3 of the way full. We're in the middle of a pretty significant incentive. All of you will have noticed that sales are going very well right now. I'm going to talk about a thing called the LMS later on in, I think, a slide or two's time. And so we fully expect another sellout event, just like Mauritius was. And so I really do encourage you to qualify if you've not qualified already. It's something you don't want to miss out on. And I'll also add that a relatively new entrant to the Leo list of markets in the last few months has in fact been Mauritius. So our members were there, you guys had a big event there, and lots of you made connections, lots of you met people, lots of you met the staff at the resort, the drivers, the doctors, whoever it was you met, and you are now building business there. So it wasn't just a holiday for some of you. It wasn't just a training event for some of you. For some of you, it was the opening of a new country and a new market. And Brazil could be exactly the same all over again. I fully expect Brazil to be a significant part of the future of the Leo business. And for all of you who are there next year, you've got a head start on building building a market in that country. So do what you can, make your goal. Please don't miss out. I want to see as many of you there as I possibly can. So on to some of the announcements for this call. Oh, I think we've got a few events to cover first. Our good friends in Pakistan had a member training event in Peshawar just yesterday, in fact. I think it was Atif Aziz's event. Yes, there he is on the photo there. Tahir Mahmood and with Atif Aziz training carried out a great event for our local leadership there. They really are doing a great job of duplication in Pakistan. You always see these focused training events where one leader who's done very, very well will share his story, will share his tips and tricks with a new generation. And so it goes on and on and on. And that's why in Pakistan you have one of the strongest leadership teams in the world, one of the most organized teams in the world, because they know how to duplicate their business. They know how to train each other in how to succeed with Leo. So I'm always very inspired to see what Pakistan are up to. But equally exciting was that last week we had the UK Leaders Summit. Now, this was a cracking sort of, I think, 5 or 6 days or so when our leaders came to the UK. I said at the event that I've been so fortunate to experience so many of your countries. I've been so fortunate to enjoy so much of your hospitality. It was a real privilege and a real personal pleasure for me to see so many of you in the UK and to have the opportunity to repay that favor of hospitality and just good times, really. So they had a really traditional English and British experience. They went round, as you see from the pictures there, they went round London. They saw Buckingham Palace. They saw the changing of the guards. Interestingly enough, you see those guards who are marching in the top right-hand corner there. I believe that's part of a ceremony called the changing of the guards. And a few years ago, he wouldn't like me to say how long ago, but a couple of decades, if not more, our very own Andy Hansen used to be one of those guards. Our very own Andy Hansen used to be a soldier in the British Army. And one of his jobs was to stand outside of Buckingham Palace every single day and do some of these parades and some of these this changing of the guard and this marching around. So it was a great little thing that we were able to send our members off on something that Andy himself used to do for a living. So that's all good fun. We also sent them off to Stonehenge to look at some very, very old stones in the UK. I mean, they're obviously not quite the pyramids, but they're sort of the English equivalent of the Egyptian pyramids, sort of the oldest standing structures that we have in the country, and something not to be missed, built by ancient Druids and ancient Celts in the UK. We then sent them off to the Roman city of Bath, which is, I guess, just under 2,000 years old now, and they saw some of the ancient Roman baths, some of the hot springs there. A lovely, lovely city to spend a day in. They also got a trip of the office, and it was great for so many of our staff who don't get much of a chance to meet our members, to get a bit of an experience of having our global leaders coming around the office, chatting to them, spending some time with them. I think our finance team enjoyed all the pictures that were being taken of them while they were trying to issue pins and pay out commissions and run the TMS and all the other stuff they were doing. It was as much a pleasure for our staff to host our members as I hope it was for our members to visit. It was a really, really lovely, lovely experience. We also had an incredible day of, English activities, of clay pigeon shooting, of various English country games, of falconry, and I saw some fantastic photos of people with birds of prey resting on their shoulders and their elbows and their arms and all sorts. It was a really, really fun thing to behold, and I was delighted to see it. They had an incredible day of training as well. So we had Paul Southworth, a member of our advisory council, speak. We had I spoke for what it's worth, and a great presentation from Andy as well. And we talked about all sorts of things. We talked about leadership. We talked about how we are planning to manage the future of the business. We talked about our vision for the future. We talked about some of the new products, some of the things we're doing for our members, and we really got down to some detail about the Leo business. So hopefully that was a valuable experience for our members there, because it really felt that we were talking to our leaders, sharing ideas about our future. And it was much more of a discussion than a presentation, I certainly felt. And then in the evening of the final night, we had an amazing dinner. We'd hired this sort of country house in the middle of the countryside in the UK, and we had what can be described as a bit of a state banquet, where the members were there. It was an incredible building full of sculpture and paintings and some really historical, important works of art. Our members had an incredible dinner, I hope. And we also had a very special guest there, which was a lady who looked not dissimilar, who looked very much like the Queen of England. And this was about giving our members the real traditional English state dinner experience, the real sort of English dinner with a speech from the lady who looked like the Queen. And I must say, for some of our members who thought it was the actual Queen, you behaved absolutely wonderfully. I must say, if I was sitting next to the actual Queen, I would not have been nearly as cool, calm, and relaxed as our members were. It made me incredibly proud to be part of Leo, to have members who can take literally anything in their stride, who are not fazed by anything at all, and can meet even what they think is the Queen of England and not even blink, and to think this is absolutely fine. Now, I think lots of them may have realized that it was an actress when she started doing gambes with the Chinese on the table, and when she was posing for selfies with lots and lots of the guests. But it was a lovely, fun experience, certainly from my perspective. And it was a real privilege to share that dinner, that true sort of traditional English dinner experience with our members. So that was last week, and it was a wonderful time. And these leaders summits, they're a little bit different to our annual conferences. They're a little bit more focused. They're usually smaller events. We have much more of a discussion about the business and the future of the company, and than we do at our annual conferences. And so for our one next year, if you weren't able to qualify for this year, or you weren't able to come, I highly recommend adding it to your calendar for sort of autumn next year. It'll be somewhere incredible again. It'll be a really focused event, and it's a really helpful event to understand more about the business you're part of, the business you're talking to people about. It really is something not to be missed at all. So one of the things we talked about last week on the call was a thing called the LMS. Now you can guess where we got the name from, but the LMS is a new service that is launching right now. So on your back office, there are terms and conditions, there are questions, there are FAQs, I think there's even a little animation. If there's not, then Joel and his team will be uploading it imminently, I'm sure, now that I've just announced it. It really is something to have a good look at, not to make any assumptions, look at the FAQ, look at the details of the product, and then have an incredible time with it. Now, part of this has been about helping out our older members. Lots of you who have come and talked to us about the new rank incentive that we have going right now, the new promotions that we're going right now, and have asked us, what can we do to help out the old members? Well, the LMS is part of the answer to that. Now, to give you it in brief, again, I really encourage you to look at the details on the back office, but it's very similar to the DMS with a couple of differences. And that is that obviously it's about Leo coin, not Bitcoin or Ethereum. It doesn't take 120 days to start. It starts as soon as it's purchased. And it provides you with Leo coin into your escrow account so that you can do proof of stake immediately, and with the escrow arriving for trading over the next few months or so. Again, full details on the back office. Now, to help launch this product and to help our old members and to get it started and off the ground, there are two specific incentives running with the LMS. The very first of those incentives is that the reward given will be valued in exactly the same way as the current rank award incentive is. So the rank award incentive, which gives a very, very generous valuation on the reward, was the same valuation that will be used for the LMS right now. Not for long, absolutely not for long, let me tell you, but right now. The second thing is that usually the LMS will only be available to gold members and above. So you have to hit the rank of gold before you're able to purchase this product. Again, for a very, very, very short time, it will be available to members who are bronze and above. I cannot emphasize enough how soon these things will end. I know I've just announced them 3 minutes ago. The clock has already started ticking on their end. So take advantage of them while you can. Now, there is a second group of older members who we also want to service and also want to make sure are well looked after and able to take advantage of the currently very generous incentives that we are running. And those are some of the people who've bought the DMS who didn't know about the LMS and think, well, if only I'd known, I would have waited. If only I'd known, I would have changed my mind. If only I'd known, I would have done something else. So from the 24th of September, DMS holders, regardless of how long they've got left on their DMS, if it hasn't started yet, that's fine. If it's got 1 month left, well, it can't have 1 month left, but if it's got 3 months left, that's fine. If it's got 6 months left, that's fine. You can switch, you can swap your DMS for an LMS if you want to do that. It won't cost you anything. If you've got 6 months left of your DMS, you'll get 6 months worth of the LMS product. If you've got 12 months of your DMS, you get 12 months of the LMS. It's very, very simple, straightforward swap, because we don't want anyone to feel like they missed out. We don't want anyone to feel like they would have done something differently if they had different information. Now, of course, if you don't want to swap, that's fine too, don't swap. We're happy either way. But for those of you who perhaps have a change of heart, perhaps have people who want to change, that's fine by us. And that will be available from the 24th of September onwards. IT are working on it now, and I'll make an announcement on that date as well, just to remind you that it's now live. So, as I say, go to your back offices, check out the product in detail before you start pitching it to your downlines, before you start pitching it to your friends and family. It's a cracking product. It starts as soon as it's purchased, and it's all about this new Leo coin that we're working on. And you can see that on the slide here. So I've talked a lot about Leo coin and the switch to Ethereum, and I went into a lot of detail at the Leadership Summit event last week. I talked a lot about smart contracts. I talked about some of the new wallet features, and I won't go into so much detail today, but I will just try and leave you with a couple of themes. The first theme is that the Ethereum blockchain that we're moving to is the very best blockchain available in digital currency. So after the switch, you'll be able to say that Leo coin is on the very latest, very best technology, the fastest working technology, the technology that can help propel Leo coin to the next level. The second theme about this switchover is about the precision that it gives us. Because of the way smart contracts work, because of the things we can do with the new wallets, there are ways of rewarding people that we did not have before. Today, when we run an incentive, by definition, it has to be quite general. We know when we launch a reward, when we launch an incentive, that some people are going to get rewarded for not doing very much. And some people who are going to work very, very hard and do all the right things are going to get the same reward of those people who didn't do very much at all. That's not fair. And when I talked about this at the event last week, there was a lot of nods in the room, which, well, was interesting. And so what we can do with this new technology is have a much more precise way of rewarding people. We can really define exactly the sort of behavior we want to encourage and exactly the sort of behavior that we don't want to reward, which means that people who are doing the right things, people who are building in the right way, who are pushing forward the market, are really adding value to Leo and the Leo coin ecosystem, can be rewarded more. and the people who haven't had to do so much, who aren't doing as much as perhaps they ought to, can be rewarded less or not at all. And that's exactly what this business is all about. That's exactly what incentives should be about. They're about driving people towards the right sort of behavior, driving people towards creating this global Leo family, this global Leo community. And there are many, many benefits with the switch to Ethereum. But I don't want to go into too much detail now, and I'll talk a lot more about the wallets next week. But the two main ones to leave you with today are, we're moving to the very latest, very best technology in digital currency. And we're going to be able to do something very, very clever and very, very precise with our rewards. That will mean that our network will be able to just grow and grow and grow. So even more quickly than it has been in the last few weeks and months. So the Leo Coin Foundation, Leo, we're very, very excited about this shift in the Leo coin, and we're very, very keen to see what we can do with it. Now, beyond that, things have been going very well in the news. You may have seen this article in Home Business magazine. It's about entrepreneurship, a subject that's one of Dan's major passions, a subject, I guess you could say that the whole Leo business is about entrepreneurship and for entrepreneurs. And so it's very, very gratifying to be quoted in this article, to be talking about it, to be part of this coverage, because it really does show that when you think about entrepreneurship, when you think about entrepreneurial success, Leo is the place to go. Now, with our new products, we've also seen some amazing results. I hope all of you will have noticed in your downlines, in your teams, in your sales, in your commissions, in your results, that things have been very, very strong since we launched this new lineup of products that they've been selling all over the world, that we've been cracking into new markets, that, as I was recounting in the leadership meeting last week, we've just accepted new members in Gabon, which is, I think, on the west coast of Africa, but I could be a bit wrong. And we're just cracking into new countries, places I've never heard of, places I certainly never thought I might visit one day. And it's really, really encouraging and really inspiring to see how members have taken on these new products, understood the new plan, understood the new rewards, and have just gone absolutely full guns blazing with it. So they're great products to use, they're great products to develop your business with, and continue on. Now, I know lots and lots of you have been very excited by the rank award incentive that we've been running right now. And if we do that little zoom, that's right, that little zoom in button there, you can see where the rewards are right now, and you obviously know about the valuation. Incentive that's running with that award as well. Now, we always said that it would end at any time. We always said we would make it as generous as we possibly could for as long as we possibly could, but that it might come to an end at any moment. We've just launched the LMS. The LMS can be bought by a bronze member right now, and has a very, very, very generous valuation right now. Now, being responsible, being controlled, being with a view to the future of the Leo coin economy and the Leo coin users and traders and members, I must say that this Wednesday, we will make an announcement about a change to this rank award incentive. The LMS incentive will be unchanged. The LMS will continue as is after Wednesday, but this rank award incentive, we will announce the change to it on Wednesday of this week. So I'm very pleased that I'm even able to give you this much notice of it. We always said, if you look on the next slide, that it would end at any time. And so, well, we weren't joking. It will end at any time, and we will let you know the details of what some of those new numbers will be from Wednesday of this week, after the close of this week, sales week. So keep an eye on your inboxes for that. If you miss it, don't worry. We'll obviously talk about it on the GAM next week anyway. But from Wednesday of this week, you will understand what we're doing next with the bronze, silver, and gold ranks. Great. So, I mean, you all know what you need to do. The main thing is, if you've not qualified for Brazil, do it fast. Do it before we run out of spaces. It's not something you want to miss. It's every time I go to these events, I always meet people who are coming for the first time to a Leo event, and they're just so happy they made the effort. They're so happy they did what they need to do to qualify. It's our events are not to be missed. Our events are not just holidays. They're not just business opportunities. They're not just training events. They're everything you could possibly want from an event like this. And I'm very, very keen to see as many of you as possible there today. They're there in Brazil. And actually, looking at the numbers of people on this call, if every single person on this call went out right now and qualified for Brazil, we wouldn't have any space left tomorrow. So we are running out of space. There are enough of you motivated on this call to join this call alone who could get there, if you're not already, obviously. So it really is something not to be missed out on. You've got the LMS incentive. You've still got the rank award incentive until we announce the change. You've got the other LMS incentive over being bought by bronze people as well. There's no excuse. There's no excuse not to take massive action to change your business. There's no excuse not to hit that new rank. There's no excuse not to be in Brazil. There's no excuse to fundamentally change the way your business works. Now, I've got a couple of questions coming in on the LMS, a couple of questions coming in on the rank awards. On the LMS, Usman, I'll say, have a look at your back office. Everything's explained in detail there. On the rank award incentive, Magnus, I'll say, yeah, sorry, but with the LMS incentive going, with the bronze incentive going, having the rank award incentive being so generous all at the same time is not something that we can do for very, very long at all. So look forward to Wednesday. Things might start to shift after that, but we'll let you know. We'll absolutely let you know, and we'll announce it then. But well, until Wednesday, you've got time to take massive advantage of it. Right. So we have some office closures coming up. Nothing particularly long, but in Dubai and the UAE, they've got a few days off there. Similarly, in China and Hong Kong, the Mid-Autumn Festival is rapidly approaching. And while people are working on these times, people are contactable on emails and Skypes and support and things. Don't be surprised if you're messaging or you're asking questions at that time and there's a slight delay in response. Things are a little bit slower than usual. It's just because we'll be working at a slightly lower than 100% staff capacity over those days there. But everything always gets picked up. Everything always gets taken care of. Now, you know what I'm going to say about the call to action. It's a fairly obvious one. The incentives we're running right now are more generous than I think perhaps anything we've ever run in the history of the company. Perhaps not, but they're fairly close to it. There's almost certainly not been a better time to be talking about the Leo business. There's almost certainly not been a better time to be promoting this business. I know lots of you are doing that already. I know lots of your teams are doing that already. Use the incentives, use the products, hit those ranks, get yourself to Brazil, understand the new LMS service. Sorry, the new LMS. It's a cracking little product there, and I'm sure it will help build and build and build your business like never before. And as Dan always likes to say, it is the early bird who catches the worm. It is the person who gets off this call and takes action right now who has the most success, who generates the most benefit for themselves, for their teams, for their families, for their futures. There are incredible opportunities with this Leo business. You have done miraculous things in the last few years to develop this wonderful, wonderful global company. We've hit this new stride of momentum. New markets are joining us from all over the world. New members are coming in from all around the world. New ranks like Isabel's and Rachel's are being broken all over the world. I cannot wait to see what you do with the latest incentives. I cannot wait to see what you do with our brand new suite of products. It is an absolute pleasure to work with such fine leaders and people who have influence and talent to create a business like this. And have an amazing week. And I cannot wait to see what you build in the next few days or so. Next Monday, Dan will be back, internet permitting. Sorry, he had to drop off today, just I don't know, some internet problem or something. He'll be back on the 19th. I'll do my apps. I think I'm there too. It will be, hang on a second, the 19th. It's the 10th today. I think that should read the 17th on the slide there. That should be the 17th of September. It's not a bank holiday or anything. So yeah, it'll be the 17th of September. Will be the next GAM, Mondays like usual. And I can't wait to see you there. I can't wait to see what you can do. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I'll speak to you all soon. Thanks very much.